Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Temilola Ajayi, and we're continuing our journey through one of my favorite books, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Last week we talked about how small, consistent habits can lead to remarkable transformation. Today, as we move into chapters 2 and 3, we'll explore why habits stick and how to build better ones that actually last. In chapter 2 of this book, James Clear says every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So, one thing I have learned is habits aren't just things that we do, they are things that reveal who we think we are. Now, most people focus on outcomes, like they say things like, I want to be more productive. I want to lead better. I want to grow in my career. But true transformation begins with identity. So instead of saying things like, I want to be more productive, you should say things like, I'm someone who values focus and excellence. Instead of saying, I want to lead better, you can say, I'm a leader who listens, learns, and grows. You can also say, I'm someone who shows up consistently and adds value instead of saying, I want to grow in my career. When your habits reflect your identity, consistency becomes natural. We'll go into chapter 3 of this book, and chapter 3 highlights another essential point, which says that you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. Now, goals set direction, but system sustain progress. And James Clear gives us a simple 4-step framework to build better habits. The first one is your cue. You make your habits very obvious. The second one is craving. You make it very attractive. The third one is response. You make it easy. And the fourth one is reward. You make it satisfying. Now, this system shows us that building habits isn't about willpower, it is about designing your environment and routines so that your good habits can naturally stick. Now, I've seen this in my own life. Yes, focusing on my identity and creating small intentional system has transformed the way that I approach my work, leadership, and my personal growth. So it's not about doing more, it is about doing what aligns with who you want to become. So I'm going to challenge you this week. Choose one habit, just one habit you want to build. Then you define the identity behind that habit. Like, you ask yourself a question, who am I becoming? Then you try to apply this 4-step system that we talked about from this book. I'm talking about the cue, the craving, the response, and the reward. Then you start small. Even if it's a 5-minute routine count, start small. And then you also remember that each small habit is a vote for the person you want to be. So finally, as we round up, I'll say that change doesn't happen overnight. Real growth is quiet, is consistent, and intentional. So you need to focus on identity, you need to build support system, and use the 4-step system framework that we've talked about, in this book. Remember that you should take it one habit at a time. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next Wednesday when we pick another chapter of this lovely book, Atomic Habits. Bye.